Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a greeting of peace to all my friends, family, subscribers, supporters of the channel. I'm going to do a live stream, a reaction video on my brother Muhammad, who's the presenter at Summary Egypt. It's an Egyptian channel which mainly focuses on political news, gives their personal opinion as well as share what the press are covering. So it's a very good channel to follow if you understand Arabic, because then you can pick up a lot of what goes on and what's happening in the Arabic language. Unfortunately, because there isn't any English subtitles, so if you do understand Arabic, you can benefit from this and you can understand what's going on and the review of the news and so on. If not, I'll try to summarize what the conclusion was, and I'll also give you my personal opinion on the current event that happened, I think it was a couple of days ago, regarding the police officer that shot two innocent civilians who were Israeli tourists in Egypt, in Alexandria. Now, I did watch the video briefly before making this reaction video, so I've got the gist of what's being covered, but we'll watch it together and then I'll give you my personal opinion on whether this was a justified killing or not, and whether this police officer needs to be charged for murder, or was he in self-defense, or was it an accident. That I'm not quite sure of yet, but we'll find out. Maybe it will be covered in the video. Also, what triggered it? You know, is it because of the current conflict that's going on in Gaza, in Palestine, and between like a reaction of what the offensive has been on Gaza by the IDF and Israeli Defense Force, or was it just some other reason that provoked that particular officer to take this act, the law in his own hands and commit this atrocity? And on the outset, I like to make it very clear that I believe as a Muslim, and this is what all Muslims believe as well, is that we are all originated from Adam, so we're all one family, so we're all brothers and sisters in humanity. So there's no one has a right to take anyone else's life, because no one gave life to someone to take it away. It's a trust from the Creator, and therefore no one has a right to kill or murder. And I'm totally against any forms of aggression or harm or war and that kind of stuff, and we should always look for the most peaceful resolution, because it's not a conflict between two different entities or two different creations or anything like that. We're all from the same race, from the human race, and we should unite, cooperate for the common good. It's just the outset of my personal belief in the matter, and all lives matter, irrespective of your race or your creed or your gender. You know, we're all equal in this world. God does not discriminate. He is not racist like some folk are, where they discriminate against each other because of race or creed or gender or whatever. So we should all look for the positive in every situation. We should look for the positive in each other, because we all complete each other. No one's perfect, but together we can achieve more. That's my personal belief. That's how I see everything on the outset, but I will make a comment at the end, inshallah, once I see what the opinion of Muhammad regarding this. And I do recommend highly to follow this channel, and I've left all their links and credit below in the description. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, and benefit from the reviews and opinions and the summary of all the world news regarding politics and any other economics and so on. They cover a lot of different aspects. Yeah, I highly recommend this channel. Very good channel. I think they've got something like 1.5 million or maybe more subscribers, so it is a very popular channel. Definitely follow it. So let's get started. I'm going to skip possibly to 2 minutes and 30 there is like a promo on a business.
تعرف من خلالها كل المعلومات اللي محتاجها قبل ما تأسس الشركة بتاعتك عشان ابشر تكون موجودة معاك خطوة. الحقيقة الجديد اللي معانا النهارده، الحقيقه الحلقه دي ممكن ناس تهاجمني فيها وممكن ناس تتفق معايا فيها، بس في الاول والاخر احنا هدفنا مصلحه بلدنا. اللي حصل كالاتي:
امين شرطه اسمه محمد عبد المجيد وده من محافظه الشرقيه وفقا لموقع اسمه مدى مصر، والحقيقه موقع مدى مصر الوحيد اللي ذكر المعلومه دي، باقي مواقع في رصد وفي مواقع تانية مختلفه عن الاسم، بس انا همشي مع موقع مدى مصر بيقول ان اسمه محمد عبد المجيد وده من محافظه الشرقيه.
كان قاعد بيحرس نقطه سياحيه اسمها عمود الصواري. عمود الصواري دي نقطه سياحيه كويسه جدا في اسكندريه ونشطه، يعني فيها حركه سياحيه كبيره شويه. والحقيقه ان كان في وفد اسرائيلي جاي، والوفد ده على فكره كبير مش صغير، يعني كان في عدد من السياح الاسرائيليين كتار. الحقيقه ان
محمد عبد المجيد
لما شاف الوفد الاسرائيلي ده جاي مسك سلاحه وهو بقى عمال يسمع اللي بيحصل في فلسطين، وان اسرائيل دلوقتي هتنتقم من حماس وبتضرب الابراج هناك وبتقتل كميه فلسطينيين عن مشاع. فالراجل ما قدرش يمسك نفسه، وحضرتك عارف التعاطف المصري الفلسطيني، الراجل ما قدرش يمسك نفسه، طلع سلاحه وضرب 2 اسرائيليين من الفوق خلاص، واصاب ثالث. اصابه الثالث اصابه يعني هم كاتبينها مودريت، يعني متوسطه مش كبيره. في نفس الوقت هو قتل واحد مصري مرشد سياحي. طيب التقرير الامني اللي طلع يقول لك ايه؟ يقول لك على فكره اصل الراجل كان بينظف سلاحه فالرصاصه خرجت بالغلط. ماشي. تاني حد او تاني تفسير طلع من السلطات الامنيه قال لك اصل احنا ما نعرفش ايه اللي ادى لامين الشرطه ان هو يطلع سلاحه ويضرب الوفد الاسرائيلي ده. ماشي برضه، بس في نقطه معينه جدا احنا مش هنضحك على بعض. السلطات الامنيه لازم تطلع بيانات بهذا الشكل لانها مش بتأيد اي عمل. يعني خلي بالك لو السلطات الامنيه قالت لك والله ده امين الشرطه عمل كذا وكذا وكذا، موقفها مش هيبقى كويس، لان ده امين شرطه يا جماعه، ده مش مجرم، ده واحد امين شرطه المفروض بيشتغل في جهه امنيه، راجل مدرك ايه الصح وايه الغلط، راجل مدرك تماما الاجراءات الامنيه عامله ازاي. فالسلطات الامنيه في موقف حرج. ده اولا. تاني حاجه خد بالك من نقطه خطيره جدا، ان ده تاني حادث يحصل في نفس السنه اللي احنا فيها من مجندين سواء لجهاز الشرطه او لجهاز الجيش في نفس السنه. ليه؟ لان في يونيو الماضي قام محمد صلاح الجندي مجند باختراق السياج الحدودي ودخل قتل 3 اسرائيليين من الجيش الاسرائيلي داخل الحدود الاسرائيليه، واشتبك مع قوات اسرائيليه، وكان حادثه كبيره جدا. فالحادثه دي بالذات حادثه خطيره لانها تاني حادثه من جهاز امني خلاص، وخطورتها انها في نفس السنه. الحاجه الثانيه اللي انت بقى ايه ما تسمعوش خالص، يعني الحاجات اللي انت ما تسمعهاش. اولا عندك ان السفير الاسرائيلي كلم على طول السلطات المصريه وقال لهم احنا عاوزين نسحب الوفد كله، يعني احنا عاوزين نسحب الفوج السياحي كله، عاوزين نرجعه اسرائيل، سواء بقى مصابين سواء جثمان القتلى، عاوزين نرجع كل الوفد ده لاسرائيل، في اشاره ان اسرائيل في الفتره القادمه هتقلل الوفد السياحي بتاعها اللي قادم لمصر. طيب حضرتك عارف السياحه الاسرائيليه اللي جايه لمصر قد ايه؟ 2% من السياحه. يعني مصر السياحه اللي جايه لها، السياحه الاسرائيليه دي بتمثل فيها 2%، رقم كبير مش رقم صغير، رقم كبير. لما اسرائيل تبعت لك طياره عسكريه عشان تشيل وفد مصابين مش مصابين، قتلى مش قتلى، تاخد الوفد كله ترجعه، معنى كده انها هتقلل لك عدد السياح اللي جايين لك، وان العلاقات مش في مرحله فيها نوع من انواع التسويه او حاجه، لا خالص، ده المرحله فيها تصعيد. يعني السلطات الاسرائيليه مش هتكتم على الحادثه خلاص. ثالث حاجه لازم تعرف ان مصر هتدفع تعويضات ضخمه للضحايا، لان تاني اللي قتل ده واحد من السلطات، يعني ده يا جماعه مش مجرم، ده واحد من الشرطه المصريه ماشي. فمصر هتدفع تعويضات لاهالي الضحايا. تعويضات قد ايه؟ لازم تعرف ان دول صهاينه، ولازم تعرف ان هم هيمسكوا لك في رقم عالي عشان تدفع تعويضات للضحايا. ليه؟ لان لازم تعرف ان الناس دي ماتت على ارضك في حمايتك. يا جماعه الفرق بين حادثه محمد صلاح وحادثه
محمد عبد المجيد
كبير جدا. محمد صلاح دخل الحدود الاسرائيليه عشان يقاتل جنود صهاينه، انما انت بتقتل وفد سياحي جاي مجرد ان هو دخل حدودك فهو في حمايتك، واللي بيقتله واحد من جهاز الشرطه المصريه. ده حادث يا جماعه ما تمشيش قدامه كده، ده حادث في منتهى الخطوره. ثالث حاجه لازم تعرف ان وزير الخارجيه الامريكي انتوني بلينكن رفع سماعه التليفون على سامح شكري معالي وزير الخارجيه المصري وقال له اللي بيحصل عندكم ده. طيب سؤال مهم يعني، هل الحادث ده كان هيكون له نفس الاثر لو مفيش اشتباكات بين اسرائيل والفلسطينيين؟ لا، بس لازم تعرف حاجه مهمه جدا، ان من ساعه ما الاشتباكات دي قامت بين حماس او الفلسطينيين والاسرائيليين، الاعلام الغربي كله بيتعاطف مع الاسرائيليين، والاسرائيليين في نظر الاعلام الغربي ضحايا. وعاوز اقول لك ان هم يعني اي حد اسرائيلي يحصل له خدش بيكتبوا عنه مقال. فتخيل انت بتقتل الاسرائيليين دلوقتي في عز الاعلام الغربي وهو متعاطف معاهم. فالنهارده جريده ذا اكسبرس، جريده فاينانشال تايمز، كل الصحف الغربيه منزله مقالات زي الزفت في الامن في مصر. والحق ده في عز الانتخابات الرئاسيه بيحصل ايه في مصر؟ والحق اصل المصريين مش عارفين يمسكوا الحدود عندهم، اصل المصريين مش عارفين يامنوا الافواج السياحيه عندهم، وكلام جارح بطريقه غير طبيعيه. هتيجي تقول لي وانت يعني متعاطف مع زميل الشرطه ده ولا انت بتهاجمه؟ حاجه اقول لك لا بهاجمه. ليه؟ بص، في مصر طول العلاقات المصريه الاسرائيليه من ساعه عمليه السلام المصريه الاسرائيليه واحنا عندنا 3 حوادث مالهمش رابع. اول حادثه هي حادثه سليمان خاطر، وانا عاوزك تقارن معايا الموضوع ده كله. حادثه سليمان خاطر ده كان جندي مجند واقف على الحدود ماسك برج تأمين في منطقة اللي هو عليه ده بيأمن تبة أو بيأمن زي تلة كده. فجم 12 سايح إسرائيلي عاوزين يطلعوا التلة دي، المفروض إن هو مسؤول عن حمايتها. فالراجل أطلق ليهم تحذير باللغة الإنجليزية. خلي بالك سليمان خاطر كان متعلم إنجليزي كويس، يعني ده مش راجل جاهل، ده راجل متعلم إنجليزي. فأصدر ليهم تحذير باللغة الإنجليزية ستوب ستوب ستوب، مش عاوزين يطلعوا التلة. قال لهم مرة تانية، المرة الثالثة فتح عليهم النار. ف12 إسرائيلي سليمان خاطر قتل منهم 7. امتى؟ سنة 1985. بالك بس التاريخ 85 ده لسه بنقول يا هادي في عملية السلام، ولسه مصر بتقول يا هادي في عملية السلام مع الصهاينة. سليمان خاطر اتحاكم، وسليمان خاطر في الآخر مات. خلاص. هل أنا متعاطف مع سليمان خاطر ولا مش متعاطف معاه؟ أنا متعاطف جدا مع سليمان خاطر، لأن في الآخر الراجل كان بيأدي مهمة وطنية، هو بيحرس المنطقة، سواء بقى مصري سواء إسرائيلي سواء أي حد كان هيعدي ويطلع التلة دي كان هيتضرب بالنار. سليمان خاطر أنا بالنسبة لي حد كويس جدا وحد شجاع، كان بيأدي مهمته. محمد صلاح، هل أنا متعاطف معاه ولا مش متعاطف معاه؟ محمد صلاح الحادثة دي ليها ظروف كتيرة قوي، بس في الآخر أنا متعاطف مع محمد صلاح، لأن هو في الآخر دخل داخل إسرائيل واشتبك مع جنود إسرائيليين، وكانت حادثة فردية برغم ان فيها انواع كتير قوي من الخروقات الامنية، برغم ان هو ما التزمش بالخدمة بتاعته، ما التزمش باوامر القادة بتوعه، خرج بره الاوامر بتاعته. ما زلت انا متعاطف مع محمد صلاح وشايفه ممكن يكون بطل كمان. اشتباك عسكري، انما يكون عندك وفد سياحي داخلين حدودك وخدوا كل الضمانات ان انت هتأمنهم وانت اللي تقتلهم. جهاز الشرطة، الراجل ده طالع من جهاز الشرطه، وده امين شرطه، ده مش يعني حد مش فاهم حاجه، ده امين شرطه، ده ملوش سوابق، ده امين شرطه ملوش اي عمليات قتل قبل كده، والا ما كانش هيفضل في منصبه او يفضل في خدمته. فكون الراجل ده ما يقدرش يتحكم في اعصابه، ومن كتر الاخبار اللي بيسمعها عن الفلسطينيين يطلع سلاحه ويضرب النار في الاسرائيليين، لا دي جريمه، دي جريمه يا جماعه في توقيت خطير جدا، لان انت اصلا الاعلام اللي بره بيترصد لك في الانتخابات الرئاسيه اللي عندك. زي ما اتفقنا اي بلد فيها انتخابات رئاسيه الناس كلها هتركز معاك. تاني حاجه بتقتل صهاينه في ظل ما هم هناك بيتنفخوا في اسرائيل. فانت دلوقتي لا، بقول لحضرتك انتوني بلينكن رفع سماعه التليفون، يا جماعه الحادثه دي ما تمرش عليك مرور الكرام ابدا ابدا. الحادثه دي ليها كواليس كتير جدا ما نعرفش عنها حاجه، بس اسرائيل بعتت لك طياره عسكريه تاخد الجثث وتاخد الوفد. انتوني بلينكن بيكلمك، لا ما تقنعيش الحادثه دي هتتلم، مش هتلم، الحادثه دي خطيره جدا. طيب اقول لك الاكتر، النهارده جريده اسمها ذا اكسبرس وجريده اسمها فاينانشال تايمز بيقول لك دول الاسرائيليين هيتم استهدافهم في جميع انحاء العالم. وعاوز اقول لك ان بريطانيا دلوقتي بتفكر انها تعزز الشرطه او تعزز الامن في المناطق اللي بيزورها اسرائيليين في لندن. خلاص، او ده اللي انا استشفيته من جريده ذا اكسبرس وفاينانشال تايمز. ففي هجمه كده على مصر بشكل كبير جدا من حادثه انا مش شايف فيها اي نوع من انواع البطوله، انا شايف فيها نوع من الجهل، وشايف فيها نوع من خرق القواعد، وشايف فيها نوع من انواع التضحيه بسمعه بلد. ما تجيش تقول لي اصل انا متعاطف مع الفلسطينيين، ما فيش حد متعاطف مع الفلسطينيين اكتر من المصريين. انا بالنسبه لي اكتر شعب بيحب الفلسطينيين هم المصريين، حدودنا واحده، دمنا واحد، وبنعشق الفلسطينيين. بس خلي بالك انت عندك بلد في قوانين دوليه، في عمليات سلام، في اقتصاد بيروح في 60 داهيه، في سياحه بتنتهي، فالموضوع ما ينفعش. حساباتك حاجه والتعاطف حاجه تانية خالص. اكتر دولة بعتت الاسعاف بتاعها وحطت المستشفيات كلها في سيناء او في شمال سيناء للمرحلة القصوى استعدادا لتلقي مصابين الفلسطينيين احنا. بس مش معنى كده ان احنا نخرب البلد، الفرق كبير جدا. والقضية الفلسطينية حاجة واقتصاد مصر حاجة تانية وسمعة مصر حاجة تانية. خلاص فرق بس يا جماعة. انا بحب الفلسطينيين جدا، بس تاني احنا قدام بلد سمعتها رايحة في داهية، بلد الجهاز الامني فيها في افراد بيقتلوا سياح. يعني شوف الحادثه ماشيه ازاي، الحادثه سمعتها وحشه جدا. خلاص ده حاجه تانية بقى عشان تمشي في الموضوع وتفكر كويس معايا. دلوقتي صحيفه اسمها واشنطن بوست جت قالت لك هو ينفع المشهد اللي حصل في 1973 ان العرب قطعوا النفط عن العالم يتكرر في موضوع حماس ده؟ والله سؤال منطقي. هل الحرب اللي قايمه بين فلسطين واسرائيل تنتهي بوحدة عربية لقطع النفط عن إسرائيل لو دبحت في فلسطين؟ الحقيقة الكاتب بيقول لك وبيفند موضوع بعيد بس مش قوي. يعني إيه؟ يعني بيقول لك خلي بالك من نقطة مهمة جدا. أولا العرب بتوع 1973 مش هم العرب في نفس القضية بتاعت حماس وإسرائيل. ليه؟ أولا في الحرب بتاعت أكتوبر 1973 العرب كانوا متحدين تماما خلف مصر وسوريا، خاصة خلف مصر، وكانوا هم بيشكلوا الأحداث بشكل أو بآخر، والعرب كانوا على قلب رجل واحد خلف الإدارة المصرية وشايفين إن في نوع من أنواع التعنت الأمريكي تجاه مصر. وكان العرب ساعتها ليهم حسابات مختلفة في التعامل مع الأراضي المصرية. إنما مش نفس الموضوع بالنسبة لحماس. حماس مش على وفاق مع كل الدول العربية، ده أولا. حماس مش بتمثل كل الفلسطينيين، أو ده اللي أنا برضو ممكن أكون استشفته من مقالة إن الراجل بيحاول يوصل لك كده. طيب ثالث حاجة أو حاجة المهمة، الراجل بيقول لك خلي بالك العرب لما قطعوا النفط 1973 كان الطلب عالي جدا على النفط، وكانت الدول الأوروبية والغربية كلها استنفذت الاحتياطات بتاعها من النفط. إنما دلوقتي الطلب مش عالي زي 1973. الدول عندها احتياطات. أمريكا عندها حاجة اسمها الSPR أو Strategic Petroleum Reserve ممكن تلجأ له لو العرب قطعوا النفط. بس كل المشهد اللي انت بتستبعده ان العرب يقطعوا النفط عن العالم لو اسرائيل دبحت الفلسطينيين ممكن يحصل بس بطريقه مختلفه شويه، وهو ان اسرائيل توجه اصابع الاتهام لايران رسميا بعيد عن العرب. اهو قال لك توجه اصابع الاتهام لايران، وانت هتشوف القضيه الفلسطينيه دي وتشوف اللي بيحصل بين الفلسطينيين والاسرائيليين دخل في لعبه تانية خالص. ازاي؟ قال لك مجرد ان اسرائيل تشير رسميا لايران بدورها في هجمات حماس عليها، ده هيؤدي ان امريكا يجب انها تساعد اسرائيل على الانتقام من ايران. ده اولا. تاني حاجه هتلاقي اسعار النفط مجرد الاتهام ده يطلع هتلاقي اسعار النفط ارتفعت بشكل كبير. امريكا هتضيق على النفط الايراني اكتر، لان امريكا دلوقتي بتسمح للنفط الايراني ان هو ينزل الاسواق بشكل كبير جدا عشان يهدي الاسعار. على فكره ايران عليها عقوبات بس امريكا مغمضه عينيها عشان النفط الايراني يخش ويبقى فيه معروض اكتر من الطلب، فالاسعار تهدى شويه. مجرد ان اسرائيل تقول لك ايران هتلاقي ان امريكا بتضطر تقفل الحنفيه على ايران فاسعار النفط ترتفع. لو ده حصل هتلاقي مياه الخليج اشتعلت تاني. ثالث حاجه هتلاقي التطبيع السعودي الصهيوني اتاخر جدا، لان انت دلوقتي بتتكلم ان السعوديه بتفكر انها تطبع مع اسرائيل، والسعوديه مش واخده تهديدات ايران على محمل الجد. بس لو اسرائيل اشارت لايران انها العدو لازم تعرف ان السعوديه هتفكر مرتين ثلاثه في التطبيع مع اسرائيل. ليه؟ لان ساعتها هي مدركه تماما ان دول 2 اعداء، مش دول 2 ممكن السعوديه تفكر انها تمشي في الطريقين مع بعض او تحاول توازن في الموضوع. لا، فموضوع ان السعوديه على الاقل تمضي على ورقه التطبيع بنهايه 2023 انساه لو اسرائيل اشارت لايران. خد بالك الموضوع ماشي ازاي؟
Surprised that those opposed to the efforts to normalize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel, and more broadly to normalize Israel's relations with countries throughout the region and beyond, who opposes it? Hezbollah, Hamas, and Iran. So to the extent that this was designed to try to derail the efforts that were being made, that speaks volumes. Right now, the focus is on dealing with this attack, dealing with Hamas, and we'll come to the normalization efforts, which, by the way, are incredibly difficult when it comes to Saudi Arabia and Israel. Lots of hard issues to work through. But if we could get there, that would significantly advance stability in the region.
حاجة ثالثة، لو أسعار النفط ارتفعت فوق 100 لازم تعرف إن بوتين هيبقى أشرس في أوكرانيا، وبوتين هيخش له فلوس أكتر فهينتج أسلحة أكتر، وأنت بتتكلم إن الدعم الغربي بيتقلص لأوكرانيا، فأنت هتلاقي حرب أوكرانيا خدت منحنى تاني. كل ده مجرد إن إسرائيل تطلع في بيان رسمي تقول لك اللي خلف ورا العمليات دي كلها إيران، المنطقة كلها تقلب، وامريكا هتلاقي نفسها مجروره. يعني امريكا ساعتها هتكون رد فعل، ويجب ان انت تعرف ان امريكا بتحاول تعطل اي قرار من هذا القبيل عشان ما يحصلش. ده اللي بيحصل حاليا. يا رب اكون شرحت لحضرتك الموضوع بشكل مبسط. انا بس عاوز افرق بين البطوله وبين الجهل. خلاص لما تلاقي ناس زي الاخوان المسلمين زي ممدوح حمزه مثلا بيشجع على حاجه زي كده، على فكره ممدوح حمزه ده راجل متعلم جدا وراجل يعني محترم جدا، بس ما ينفعش ان هو يطلع يقول لك والله اصل الجندي شاف الوفد الاسرائيلي ففتح عليه النار. لا يا دكتور ممدوح، معلش مش كده. اهدى على نفسك شويه واحسب كلامك كويس جدا وشوف مين اللي بيقرا كلامك، حتى لو اللي بيقراه 2 3 احسبه برضه وفكر انت بتقول ايه.
انا بقى عاوز افهم دلوقتي المرشد السياحي المصري اللي اتقتل ده ذنبه ايه؟ الراجل ده كان مجرد ان هو بيروح عشان يجيب اكل عيش لاولاده، الراجل ده كان بيشتغل عشان ياكل عيلته، اتقتل بانهي ذنب؟ اتقتل بانهي جهل؟
في وقت عامل ازاي؟ يا رب اكون شرحت لحضرتك الموضوع بشكل مبسط، ويا رب انصر مصر، رب انصر العرب. تحيا مصر، سلام.
Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that short clip from Summary Egypt channel. Just wanted to make some comments. I did make a couple of notes just to remember a few points. So Brother Muhammad from Summary Egypt did talk about 3 incidences that happened since 1985 between Egypt and Israel, because Egypt and Israel are, they have a peace treaty together after the war of 1973, the 6th of October 1973, the Yom Kippur War, as also known by, so the first 2 instances, they're kind of can be justified in a way because it was self-defense or some sort of a combat situation, which is fair between two militants or 2 individuals or a group of individuals where there's a conflict going on. So it can be justified. You're out of self-defense. You shoot, someone else shoots you, and so on. But this particular incident is completely unacceptable. For someone to take the law in his own hands, if this was true, and it was, he did mention that there is a narrative that the gun, basically fired by itself, or there was an accident in a way and it started to shoot or whatever. Of course, that doesn't make sense. Most likely that he acted out of rage and anger. And I have to say here, it's completely unacceptable to fight hate with hate. It's unacceptable to fight racism with racism. So if someone's racist by their nature and they have hatred towards, blacks, then someone who's is black or an African, they cannot be also racist against whites. So if someone commits a hate crime against, Asians, for example, you have, an Asian has no right to commit a hate crime against a white individual, because that's an innocent individual. You have every right to protect yourself, of course. If someone's about to attack you, you have every right to defend yourself. No, I'm not taking that away from you. This is your God-given right, self-defense. I'm not asking you to lay down, like some people say. If someone slaps you in the face, give them the other cheek and, take another slapping. So you have to obviously protect yourself. But in this case, these individuals that were visiting Egypt, they were just tourists. They have nothing to do with the political situation. There were no way, causing any sort of threat to others. By all means, if those individuals were armed and they were trying to cause some terror event, or they're trying to cause harm to others, then by all means, you as a police officer, you have your right to protect the citizens and other tourists. Then you can shoot at the individuals that are causing a threat. But in this case, these people are were completely innocent and they were killed in cold blood. And I totally, this is completely unacceptable, irrespective where they're from, their ethnicity, and so on. We cannot be like them. They might do this to our tourists, for example. They might do this to the Muslims. They have been doing this for generations to the Palestinians, and they don't accept it as murder. They kill innocent people every single day. Every single minute they kill. They kill anyone and everyone. So it's completely unacceptable. But we can't be like them. We have to show them respect, peace. The citizens. I'm not talking to you about the militants. I'm not talking to you about the terrorists in Israel that's killing innocent people and our brothers and sisters, the Palestinian brothers and sisters. I'm not talking about them. The Palestinians have every right to defend themselves. They have every right to liberate their land. Every right to do that. They can, by any means necessary, they have to fight back. Of course, these people are heroes. And I stand by that. But if someone comes to you, even your enemy, even if you're in a combat situation and you catch someone and they're now a prisoner of war, in Islam, it's completely unacceptable to harm that individual. As soon as they surrender, they are now your brother in humanity. You have to treat them with respect. This is what our Prophet taught us. You have to treat them with respect. You have to treat them equal. You have to feed them from what you eat. You can't give them bad food and you take good food. Whatever you're going to eat, whatever your meal is, you have to share it with them. They're now your brother in humanity. The battle just a few minutes ago or an hour ago, that's a different matter. But now they're with you. They're now a guest with you. You have to respect them. You have to treat them well because they're a human being. You have to show them the beauty of Islam because Islam means peace. Shalom. It comes from the word shalom as well in Hebrew. Peace. So we have to show them the beauty of Islam. Respect. We are different than you. If we was a prisoner with you, you'd be torturing us, harming us, disrespecting us. But you're now a captive with me. That means you are my guest. Under laws, the divine laws of God, I have to treat you well. And that's the way you're supposed to go into combat. You fight those who attack you. Don't fight civilians. It's completely also unacceptable to take civilians as captives or prisoners of war because those civilians were unarmed. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable also to harm elders, people that are disabled in some way, they have some sort of disability. You can't do any harm to them. You can't even take them as prisoners. So this is unacceptable. So there's a lot of ignorance. Of course, you have to understand, people act out of their own rage, all individual decisions. They take decisions without understanding what the rules of combat is. So they break those rules, unfortunately, some. But then I also seen videos where some militants and, freedom fighters, they came across an elderly lady and they just left her in peace. There was a lady that was disabled in bed. They left her in peace. They left her alone. They didn't harm anyone. And they didn't harm the carer. They didn't take the carers as prisoners. But of course, some people acted out of revenge and anger. It was just a human nature to sometimes, if someone's angry, they can harm someone. Someone wants to take revenge. They act out of that human instinct of revenge. But we should have some self-restraint. You can only fight and go into combat with someone that's clearly trying to harm you. They're armed and they're trying to harm you. You can defend yourself. But in this case, it wasn't that. These people, these two Israeli citizens, they were unarmed and they were clearly in Egypt for tourism, to visit the country. Maybe they love the country. Maybe they have some origin going back because Egypt was populated by the Jews ethnicity, and many Egyptians are part Jew. They have some sort of a lineage, genetic connection to the Jews, and also Afghans next to Pakistan, Iran, and so on. There are many ethnic Jews who are Afghans because the descendants of Harun, the brother of Musa, settled in that region. of what's known today as Afghanistan. So many of them are the descendants of Harun, the brother of Moses. So we cannot discriminate, and this we need to remove. And I'm speaking now to my Arab brothers, my Muslim brothers, my Egyptian brothers. That's the message I'm going to my Palestinian brothers as well. We cannot be racist. We cannot say curse on the Jews, whatever. We have to differentiate between Jews and Judaism and Zionism. Zionism is different. It's like ISIS they claim that they're sort of like an Islamic terror group, or they're working in the name of Islam, which is complete nonsense. They're nothing to do with Islam. They're outside the fold of Islam. It's unacceptable. Same thing in Zionism. They're a terrorist group. Clearly, they're a terrorist group. Their manifesto, if you go through their manifesto and their vision and aspirations, is built on racism. Nothing to do with the Jewish culture. Nothing to do with the Torah. They don't act on the rules of the Torah. That thou shalt not kill. The 10 Commandments. Show me one of the commandments that says kill the Arabs. Where did they get that slogan from? Where did they get that slogan or this racist ideology where it says they are a superior race and God created all the other races to be their servants and subhuman? Where does it say it? It says it nowhere. And I've read the Torah. I've looked into the oral traditions of like the Talmud and so on. I looked into all these things when I was researching religion when I was a teenager. I looked into the Bible. I looked into the Gospel of Jesus, Gospel of Paul. I looked into all these things. I researched the Psalms. I researched deeply into these things. Even the Zohar, which they use for the people that follow the Kabbalah. I looked into all these things in detail with an open mind to really understand what is going on. Nowhere does it say to harm another human being. Nowhere in any of the scriptures, any of the divine scriptures, any scripture that is claimed to be divine, that people use and they build their religion on, nowhere does it tell harm other human beings or that you are a superior race. This is something coming out of Satan. This is the satanic Bible. This is the religion and the belief and the ideology from Satan, because Satan hates the human race. He also was arrogant. He also had this arrogance and haughtiness. And he had this pride. And he seen that his race of jinns, which are made out of different materials, smokeless fire, they're a superior race. So he was the first racist, not from the human race. And the Zionists are inspired from him. So was the people that founded the whole concept, the ideology of Nazis and caused the Holocaust and discriminated the Jews in Germany and so on. And so is the white supremacists, eugenics that are trying to reduce the world population, the non-white world population. So we can't be like them. We can't be racist. We can't unite and do some sort of an act like that, a criminal act. This is a crime against humanity. And in this case, I will not side with this. Although this police officer was Egyptian, he was a Muslim, but I will not side with him. What he's done was absolutely wrong, and he will be punished for it. It's unacceptable in this case. And I'm making my opinion very clear here that this does not mean that you cannot fight those who fight you. You fight those who fight you. You defend yourself. You defend your home. You defend your land. That makes you a man. I was having a conversation today with a Christian friend of mine. He says, I don't get involved in politics and religion, and I don't say my opinion. And I said to him, there comes a time when silence is betrayal. You have to state your intentions. You can't side with someone who's a racist because you can make money. You have to be a good person. Don't tell the world that you are following your Christian faith and you're being a good person. But when people are oppressed, you don't speak out against it. You side with the enemies of humanity. The people that are the criminals. You can't side with those people. If they do good, they do good for themselves. If they do harm, you have to speak up against it. If you see your own brother or sister or your own child, and they're about to do something, they're about to harm themselves, they're about to throw themselves in a fire or get electrocuted, go into an accident, you will probably pull them back. You will speak to them. You will warn them. You tell them, don't do that. But if you're silent and they get harmed, what kind of a father are you? What kind of a brother are you that you don't try to protect your other, people that you're responsible of? What kind of a person are you? You'll be a shallow human being. And this is why I don't respect these kind of people that are silent, because they are betraying humanity. You have to speak up. You have to state the facts. You have to be honest. Don't be like the mainstream media, the corrupt mainstream media that just spread falsehood and false news. Almost anything they spread, everything, it's just completely twisted. The whole truth, the whole reality is twisted. They never give facts. They never show, fair journalism, where they get two people of opposite opinion and they give each one the same amount of time, same amount of respect, and ask the same question to both parties and try to understand what the differences are. And then at the end, they agree to disagree. That's fine. We're all different. We can see the same problem and solutions to different things in different ways. We can look at things in different angles. That's acceptable. We can respectfully agree to disagree without taking, to the next level of violence and killing each other and saying, no, my way is the only way, my way or the highway, and all that nonsense. You have to respect each other. We're all different, but we're equal. So this is how we're supposed to live and cooperate together. Now, what's going on in Israel is absolute nonsense. It's very immature. In this day and age, the amount of intelligent people among us, educated people among us, and still in this day and age, there are still wars going on, invasion of people's privacy, and killing innocent people. For what? For land, for money, for materialism. We are here in this world as servants of God. We're here to serve everyone. We're here to look at the people that are less fortunate than us and bring them up. Not step on them, not exploit them, not steal their resources like what the British did and what the French did to the Algerians and what the Americans did to Iraqis and Afghanis and all over the world. I mean, Americans have broken a record in the amount of corruption and invasions and terrorist acts that they've committed worldwide. And the British were like second best. If they were like the terrorists, the most that did terrorism would probably be America, Israel, and Britain. Would be like the top three. And they'll be like competing for that top position of who's the biggest terrorist in the world. And I'm not talking about citizens. There's a lot of decent citizens. Even my own grandmother was Scottish. So I've got some British lineage as well. So I understand. And these people were respectable people. I came from a respectable, noble family. And likewise, many other British citizens are decent human beings, and they're standing up against injustice. Many Jews are decent human beings as well, and they're standing up against the corruption of the government. So I gave my 2 cents worth of what's going on, but I'm giving my opinion on this particular video, and I'm sorry if I'm just getting a bit emotional about this, because it makes me sick and tired, not from the whole situation, but from my own people, my own friends that fail to speak up, that turn the other way. When something going on in the world, they look the other way. They ignore what's happening. They only think about themselves. What's in it for me? They have a selfish aura about them. They're very selfish. All they're thinking about is what's in it for me. And every time I have a conversation with someone and said to him, go out there, find someone that's in need, help them, make your purpose in life to serve others. And they go, well, I'm busy now. I gotta go. I need to think about myself. And when they approach me because they want me to help them. Very few people, the majority of these people that I'm just referring to, I'm not going to embarrass them and give names out and, expose them in any way. But when they watch this video, they'll understand I'm talking about them. But these are the sort of people that are not givers. They're just takers. They like to take from people. If no one can benefit them, they don't communicate. They only come to you when they need something from you. They never approach me and say to me, listen, I see what you're doing. Let me support you. Let me help you out here. Let me, give some of my skills, some of my time and support you. And don't you think I would reciprocate with them and find ways also to help them achieve their goals in life? And then together we can cooperate to help others as well. But they don't think that way. The majority of people, unfortunately nowadays, even amongst the Muslims, even amongst the Egyptians, even amongst us Arabs, are not united. And Brother Muhammad here from Summary Egypt channel, he made that clear. Israel is not scared and not worried about, the Ummah uniting or all the Arabs uniting and saying, no, we're going to side with Palestine. They're not worried about that. They made a statement. They know that we are divided. People don't care about anyone. And that's how they're doing it also in the UK. The UK government is trying to divide all the Muslims in the world. So they like to point, oh, you're Muslims, fine, you be Muslims, but you're British Muslims. It's nothing to do with you, what goes on in the Middle East. They try to make it as if we're all different and divide us, where what they should be doing is uniting everyone, because we're united in humanity. We should cooperate together. We should support each other. Likewise, in the Isle of Man, Muslims there are not united, unfortunately. They're disunited. Everyone, and the individuals, when I speak to them, either they are united based on their ethnicity, or they're united based on like their own core nucleus family. So they will only sort of stick together if they're like your brother or your like first degree level family member. They don't see the bigger picture that we're all brothers in Islam, and we're all sisters in Islam, and we're all brothers and sisters in humanity. They don't see that. Very, very few people understand what I'm saying, and very, very few people cooperate to do good, and they have that vision of bringing back the correct methodology and application of our way of life to benefit society and contribute and build something productive, so the next generation can benefit, make the world a better place. They don't have that bigger vision. They don't see the bigger picture. They're just looking through like a microscope, and they can only see their benefit, and that's it. So that's an unfortunate reality. This is the state, not just in the Isle of Man, but everywhere, all over the world. I've traveled so many countries and I've seen this pattern. Very few places that I see people are united, people are trying to cooperate to do something, whether it's people are grouping together to do some non-profit organization, or to support a local community, or to mutually benefit, like buy a piece of land and grow agriculture so the whole community can benefit from the produce and that kind of stuff. No one's thinking like that. Everyone's trying to exploit each other, invade, steal, rob, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is the state of the world right now, and this is why we have all these natural disasters. It's a wake-up call for us. So my only message I want to give to everyone is to wake up. And anyone that's thinking of taking their law in their own hand and taking revenge against an ethnic group, whether it be Jews, Arabs, blacks, white, Chinese, Asian, you can't do that. It's unacceptable. That's a crime. It's a crime against humanity. It's unacceptable. But if you're in a position of authority, like a police officer, a soldier, and someone is, approaching you and trying to harm you, he's armed and he's trying to approach you, or he's aiming at you and he's about to shoot you, you have every right to defend yourself. If someone enters your property and they try to harm you and harm your family, a criminal comes in, you're not a man if you don't protect your household. This is when real men step up to the plate and ignore anyone else that tells you run, save yourself, leave your wife behind. You won't be a man. You will disrespect yourself for the rest of your life. You die as a man. You die fighting, defending your family and everyone, because this is the real test of your manhood. You won't be a man if you run away. Just like all these weak Muslim men out there that claim they're men because they can marry, they're a father, whatever. But when the going gets tough, they run away. They abandon their wives and children because they don't want to take up the responsibility. We can't be like that. And if you're like that, you've got to change, because you still have a chance to change. This is the message that I'm giving to you. Anyway, I've gone up off the topic a little bit, but I like to always give my 2 cents worth here and there. Anyway, this was my opinion. It's a great video by Summary Egypt. I highly recommend you follow the channel. If you understand Arabic, it would be great. Maybe one day, inshallah, they will create another channel purely in English, so then the non-Arabic speakers can also benefit from their opinion and their news review and so on. And there's a lot of good other channels in English who do something very similar to what Summary channel does, the Summary Egypt channel. I hope anyway you've enjoyed it, if you understood the content. I will try to give my opinion now and again on Summary. Maybe I'll do like a different video, like kind of a reaction video, but in the Arabic language. So I'll try to tailor for Arabic, Arabic speakers and English speakers as well. Yeah, I'll do my best. I'm not very good in Arabic, so my Arabic could be a bit broken, but I hope if I give a review on a future video, which is originally in Arabic, then maybe the words will come out correct anyway. I don't want people to laugh at me how I speak and that kind of stuff. But yeah, inshallah, I'll try to do another review video today if I have a bit of time, but I'm going to do a little bit of work and then I'll see how I can squeeze something out, inshallah. Okay, assalamu alaikum for now and take care. Bye bye.